Ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 24 hours away from the New Hampshire GOP primaries for 2024. And so I wanted to let you know my predictions, what I thought was going to happen. I did it for Iowa, I'm going to do it here. Now, one thing I will say, in Iowa, I got something wrong. I thought Nikki Haley would slightly edge out Ron DeSantis. But thankfully, Ron DeSantis won, and it was so satisfying to watch Nikki Haley give a speech and have people rip her a new asshole because clearly the speech was written as though she were going to get second place. That is just delightful. So now Ramaswamy's out, Asa whoever is out, Ron DeSantis is out. Ron DeSantis and Vivek have endorsed Trump. Vivek says he's going on the campaign trail with Trump to make sure Trump gets elected. I think that's an incredible move. And one thing that I do want to say, it's a bit of a tangent, but I think that it is perfectly acceptable for people to be able to change their minds upon learning new information. I've never understood people like Ian Miles Chong or people on the left who say that it's like you're in a cult because somebody does something, Trump identifies that something that people don't like, and then people respond and say, I don't like that, and criticize that person heavily because they have established themselves as being an enemy of the candidate in a political race for president. That person makes a mistake. But then, a couple days later, that person apologizes, and Vivek did apologize. He then drops out of the race. He endorses Donald Trump. He says, I'm going to do everything within my power to get Trump elected. And he's done that. He's gone to campaign event after campaign event. So, my opinion of Vivek changes. My opinion of just about anyone changes based on what they say, and then more importantly, over a period of a couple days or a couple weeks, what they do. I think it should not be considered cult-like to think for yourself. If somebody makes a mistake, you call it out. If they do something right, you mention that too. I saw Ian Miles Chong and a lot of other people saying, oh, you loved Vivek a week ago, but now you don't like him. The point is, the ability to change one's mind, the ability to adapt to new information, is something that makes people in the libertarian and conservative movement different from the left, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. Now, it's true, you can be too wishy-washy. There can be too much of that. But I think that from a principled standpoint, watching what Vivek Ramaswamy did, I think he's a pretty good dude. Now, was I harshing him in the video that I did? Absolutely. Because at the time, it felt like he was being deceitful. It felt like he was being a snake. It felt like he was attacking Trump, which means he was attacking what I consider to be, and many people consider to be, the best chance for America in the next 4 years. So, things change. People change, words change, apologies, all that stuff. Now, as it relates to Iowa, what I got wrong, I mentioned that. But my prediction for New Hampshire, Trump is going to win by double digits. Nikki Haley is going to be championed in the media if she doesn't immediately drop out. So, the media will say, well, Trump may have won. He may have gotten double-digit lead. But Nikki Haley had a strong and commanding performance. I think the media is going to look at it and say, well, she made it into the 40s. That's definitely a viable candidacy. They're really going to push her to go to South Carolina. But I don't think she will. And the reason is because if Nikki Haley loses in her home state, that would be one of the greatest political humiliations you can suffer. And that's what's on the menu. So I think after New Hampshire, after she loses, she's going to drop out. And I do think she's going to endorse Donald Trump. So, yeah, that's my prediction for the night. I don't think it's going to take long to get to the decision. I think it's going to be pretty clear from the beginning what's going to happen. Trump is going to be in the low 50s. You're going to have Nikki Haley, who's in the low 40s. I think he's going to win by double digits. I don't know if I want to make a prediction like she gets 41.2 and he gets, maybe 53 point something. But I think it's going to be around there. That it's going to be a double-digit lead. It's going to be enough of a lead that he can say, I trounced her. But the media is going to say, well, she had a pretty good showing. She's definitely a viable candidate. They're going to try to rehabilitate her image no matter what she gets, though. Because she is the establishment candidate. She is the candidate that they want. Because they know that with her, it would be business as usual. So, my hope, what I would like to see is her get absolutely stomped. I would like to see Trump get 63. And Haley get, 22. But that's not going to happen. I think it's going to be a double-digit lead. But I think it's going to be within reason. Now, I should do a separate video on a VP pick. But I will give you a little bit of a sneak peek. I don't think it's going to be Vivek. I know, call me crazy. But I think it should be. Now, I know that there are people that don't trust him and they'll say, no. Trump needs somebody who's, less energetic. I understand. I understand Trump's type. But the reason why Vivek would be so effective is because Vivek is a guy that has demonstrated that he can be loyal. Yes, he messed up. Yes, he went off the reservation for a little bit. But he's come back and he has dedicated himself to getting Trump elected. But here's the main point. Vivek can go on media and he can concisely and articulately and savagely address the media and explain Trump's agenda. The problem with Trump's first term is this. Trump is not able to articulate himself in the way that the media can understand. He cannot articulate himself in the way that the snobbish elite media can understand. Trump, just going to say it, is a little bit boorish. He's a little bit oafish. That's not an insult against him. I love the man. But that's probably why he resonates so well with blue-collar workers. Because they're like, this guy doesn't have that accent and that snooty way of speaking. And that, I went to Harvard. You know what I mean? He's a more natural, down-to-earth candidate. And you feel that even though he's a billionaire, you feel like he could be the guy at the local, he could be the general manager of a, construction site. That's why Trump is so personable. Now, Vivek comes from an Ivy League background. He can go on any show and absolutely vivisect all of these different people in the media. He can tear them down. He can articulate what Trump's message is and put it in a way for anyone to understand. That, I think, is a very, very powerful asset. I've heard people say, Elise Stefanik. I don't really know who that is. I don't care. If he picks them, fine. I don't think they would be a good choice. I think what Trump needs is a highly energetic person. Because who is Elise Stefanik? If something were to happen to Trump, God forbid, do you think she's going to be able to step in there and fulfill the MAGA American First agenda? I would trust Vivek more than, this woman who's, she's like 4'2". I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm making a point. That there's nothing that I've seen from this woman that inspired in me the type of feeling. I shouldn't go to feeling. The type of confidence that Trump gives off, or that Vivek gives off. The other thing I would like to see as a VP, this has no chance of happening, but I would like to see Don Jr. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Trump 2024. Oh. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing what happens in New Hampshire. I'm going to be talking about it with all of you. I hope that you will tune in and, watch my next video. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.